Welcome back, everybody. You're here at Behind the Fame, and today's featured video spotlight is a legendary actor who lived to be 100, the legendary George Burns. Who does not remember George Burns with Gracie and Allen, with George Burns and Gracie Allen, as well as Oh God Book 2, his shows, that famous cigar, countless movies, also on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and on, guest appearances on Alice, remember Alice, Linda Lavin, Vera, Flo, Mel Sharp. Alright, so join us as we celebrate the life and career, the wonderful life of legendary actor and comedian Mr. George Burns. George Burns was an American comedian, actor, writer, and singer whose career spanned vaudeville, radio, film, and television. Most famously as the cigar-wielding straight man to his delightfully dizzy wife in the Burns and Allen team. Decades after their peak, he reinvented himself as a beloved elder statesman of comedy, winning an Academy Award at 79 for The Sunshine Boys, and scoring another hit as God in Oh God and its sequels. Early life and vaudeville roots. Born Nathan Birnbaum in New York City in 1896 to Jewish immigrants from Galicia, he grew up poor, lost his father young, and formed a child harmony act called the Pee Wee Quartet while working in a candy shop. After years in small-time show business and a brief first marriage, he found his ideal partner in 1923 when he met Gracie Allen. They married in 1926, with Burns gradually shifting into the dry, self-aware straight man who made her shine. Burns and Allen, stage, radio, and films. Burns and Allen moved from vaudeville to short films and features, appearing in projects such as The Big Broadcast, International House, Six of a Kind, A Damsel in Distress, and College Swing, often playing versions of themselves. On radio from 1932, their act evolved from variety sketches into a situation comedy about a showbiz couple surrounded by colorful neighbors and band leaders, boosted by publicity stunts like Gracie's missing brother, search at her spoof 1940 presidential campaign. Television and producing. The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show debuted on CBS TV in 1950, with Burns breaking the fourth wall to comment to viewers, and later watching his show on a TV within the show, helping define early sitcom style. Through their McCadden Corporation, Burns and Allen produced not only their own series, but also shows like The Bob Cummings Show, The People's Choice, and Mr. Ed, making Burns an important behind-the-scenes television producer. Comeback, The Sunshine Boys, and Oh God. After Gracie's retirement in 1958 and her death in 1964, Burns kept working in clubs and TV, but returned to major films when he replaced his close friend Jack Benny in the 1975 movie The Sunshine Boys, winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He achieved a new pop culture peak, playing a wry, conversational almighty in Oh God in 1977, and in sequels, while also starring in films like Just You and Me, Kid, Going in Style, 18 Again, and continuing nightclub and TV appearances into his 90s. Personal life, longevity, and legacy. Burns and Gracie Allen adopted 2 children and remained a team on and off screen, with their shared crypt at Forest Lawn reading "Together Again," honoring Burns' insistence. She received top billing even in death. Famous for his ever-present cigars, disciplined daily exercise, and writing jokes about age, George Burns lived to 100, dying in 1996. He was only 100 years old. He left behind 10 best-selling books, 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, television Hall of Fame honors with Allen, and continuing influence through tributes like the play Say Goodnight, Gracie. That was the remarkable, legendary career and life of George Burns. Now, I remember George Burns as a kid, but I think I got my first glimpse of George Burns when he did the film Oh God with John Denver. And then I think after that he made a guest appearance on Alice, where Vera, I forgot her name already. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But Vera in Alice saw George Burns at Mel's Diner, and she was really believing that he was God. And her imagination got the best of her. So she believed that George Burns was God. But he's like, no, I'm just an actor playing God. And but they had to like win her over. And so, but that's how I first got introduced to George Burns. I was a little kid back then, but that's when I first discovered George Burns. Then as I got older, I was introduced to the George Burns and Gracie Allen show, and on, and then other movies and some, the Sunshine Boys and all that stuff. But, and also the other movie, 18 Again, You and Me Kid. And so as a kid, I got exposed to George Burns. But if you're older, into your 60s or 70s, maybe you remember the George Burns and Gracie Allen show. What are your thoughts on George Burns? What are your favorite memories? You get a lot of variety shows with Bob Hope, Jack Benny. There's a lot of guest appearances with, I think, the Mike Douglas show, or shows like that of that nature. Dinah Shore, Mike Douglas, the Jack Benny. I guess he was best friends with Jack Benny, Jackie Gleason, and so on. That was the golden age of Hollywood. So George Burns was everywhere on TV, radio, and movies. And so, but you can't say nothing bad about it. He was very respectful, very funny, very quiet. And the guy lived to be 100. We can only be so lucky. And there he was, making guest appearances, interviews, signing autographs until his, well into his 90s, and always there for his fans. And he led a wonderful, wonderful life. And there he was, smoking a damn cigar. You think that would have killed him, but I guess that was his secret for longevity. All right, so that was the life and career of legendary actor, comedian, producer, actor, all that. He did everything. George Burns. Give me your thoughts below. Any comments, questions, or feedback, leave them below. What are your best memories of George Burns? Do you remember that episode where he appeared on Alice? Well, let's see. Tommy, Alice, Flo, Vera, Mel Sharp. That was one of my favorite TV shows in the 70s, Alice. I just love Alice. But that's how I remember George Burns with John Denver. And then Oh God, Book 2 with that little girl. I love those movies, Oh God, Book 2 and Oh God. And Oh God, You Devil. The third one, where he's like the devil. So George Burns was awesome. All right. Thank you for joining me here at Behind the Fame. Any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all in the next video.